All right, Charlie Vann here with the Lone Star Kid, Landry Ward. Landry, Happy New Year. How are you doing, man?
Hey, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. Getting closer to the fight. A day out from starting the cut, man. I'm locked in, ready to go.
Well, this is almost like second Christmas for you because I know you love to fight. I've heard your interviews and you've been on a good buddy of mine, Steven Peterson's Fight Fit Lifestyle show. So first up, how was your holidays? And did you have any like family traditions that you were able to do this year? I know these are, crazy times, but did you get to enjoy the holidays a little bit?
Yeah, I did get to. So I'm actually staying in Miami, doing my camp in Florida. But I was able to go home for a few days over Christmas to see the family, so that was good. But yeah, it was a quick trip there for a couple of days, then back home to get back to camp. I knew I had a fight lined up, so focused on this more than that. But it was good to see the family.
I also saw you got to do a little some deep sea fishing. I saw a swordfish that you shared recently. You got to catch a swordfish. Are you
Yeah,
big?
my guy Mark the Shark. He runs a charter out of here down here in Miami. I reached out to him for sponsorship not too long ago, and he was like, "Yeah, come out on the boat and we'll talk about it." And I went out with him, hitting off, and now I go out fishing with him every now and then. Yeah, it's fun to be out on the water. I'm a big fisherman. I'm usually like fishing freshwater, catching
Mhm.
bass, but it's a whole nother ball game being out there doing the deep sea fishing. But it's fun, having a big fish like that on the other end of the reel is it's an adrenaline rush.
There seems to be a common trend in fighting, especially the MMA community. A lot of people love to fish. Is that just because the calm? Well, it's not always calm, but just kind of that content away from fighting, that release. And how long have you been fishing for?
Uh, I've been fishing since I was a kid. My dad has a friend who had some land about an hour and a half north of us when I was a kid. And we'd go up there all the time. Back in the country, a little tank on there, stocking with some bass and catfish. And I think ever since then, I guess, kind of a getaway. They say a bad day on the water is better than a good day at work. So I don't know. I don't know if I can quite compare that to fighting. There's nothing like a good day of work fighting. But yeah, just being out on the water, there's something soothing and relaxing about it. And catching a fish, it's another, not quite the adrenaline rush of getting in a cage, but it's a little bit of adrenaline rush you can get. So it's yeah, just something I've loved to do since I was a kid.
What's the biggest fish that you've caught?
Um, Probably catfish that was, I don't know, 13, 14 pounds. But biggest bass was out of that stock tank that I go with my dad's friends. I think it was like 7.5 or 8.
Dang, that thing
So
can weigh
yeah,
in.
and then catching a 7+ pound bass is definitely that thing can weigh in.
That's
Definitely
a
fight like it.
workout. That's a little bit of a workout right there. Now, how long have you been
the
in?
the deep sea fishing, well, I was gonna say deep sea fishing. Those things will put up a workout. I haven't really personally completely reeled in a full fight with a fish on a deep sea reel, but just doing a couple reels, you're like, that. If you go for 30, 40 minutes with this thing, that's quite a fight.
Fight outside of the fight. Fighting with the ocean. That's always
Fighting with the
intriguing.
ocean. Yeah.
I feel like I would be fighting with motion sickness at sea. I've never been a deep sea fisher or really out in the ocean. I mean, I grew up always going to Florida, but I've never like taken a boat out other than like a lake or that. So I hear it can go either really well for some people or it can be a whole different experience.
Yeah, if you follow Mark's page, he's always posting people on there throwing throwing up overboard and stuff. So yeah, it can definitely go either way.
Well, how long have you been now training in Miami for, and just talk about that experience and just the environment?
Yeah, so I came to Miami originally for a couple of my last two amateur fights, I believe, doing training at a gym down here. And then things I kind of sat back and examined my environment at that gym that I had originally came to, and decided I thought it'd be better for me to leave. So probably about, I think back in October, I actually left and went to Sanford MMA, which is where
Oh yeah.
Robbie, Michael Chandler, all those guys are, and Henry Hooft and Greg Jones, Cami Barzini, the coaches there, welcomed me in, and I've been there since October, and feel like just being there for that amount of time, I've added a ton of skills on top of what I gained from being with the guys here in Miami too. It's my game in the past year has just evolved an insane amount, and I can't wait to show the progression that I've made in a year, because my performance from last year had to stick with that taste in my mouth, and it wasn't a very good taste. I wasn't too happy with my performance, so I'm ready to go get that one back.
It was, though, considered fight of the night, so that had to be a little exciting. But one thing I've noticed about you and your style, and Steven Peterson mentioned this in your pro debut about how you fight long, and we just saw that with Max Holloway. I mean, he does that very well. Just kind of talk about that. I remember years ago with Brandon Vera, it was at the Tim Sylvia fight at UFC 77. I think it was Joe Rogan mentioned that's and Brandon's had a great career, but sometimes he was a big heavyweight, and sometimes he wouldn't fight his size. So just talk about you fighting your size and really utilizing your length.
Yeah, since I started, my striking coach Dieter Navarro has been with him since the start. He's always told me, like, I have a lot of length for the weight class. I'm a big guy for 155, so I need to use it. And he's put that idea and those weapons and tools I need to use to stay long. My jabs, my push kicks, keeping everything at bay. And that's huge. Fighting long, being a sniper is, you don't take a lot of damage. You can pick people apart, and fighting outside, as you can see through my fights, is how I prefer to fight. You bring up Max Holloway. It's fun. He stays long, but every now and then whenever he wants to throw volume, he's staying right there in the pocket. He's allowing you to hit him because he knows he's just going to overwhelm you with 20 more punches behind that one you throw to him. Every time he gets you back against the cage, he'll stay in that pocket and go. I wouldn't say my style is as much of a volume as he is, but if I do see one thing I learned, why I say I was stuck with a bad taste in my mouth, one thing I've learned is that I do need to up my volume when I have guys hurt and when I have somebody backed and cornered against the cage. And that's stuff that I've seen even throughout camp, sparring with these guys, and something that's getting stuck in my head. If I see somebody's hurt, I need to up my volume and, get on them.
Now, you're talking about that up in your volume. Do you feel like you're calculating more? Because you seem very definitely calculated in a positive sense. You're not rushing anything. You're taking time. Even within that last fight, from the opening bell, you caught him with almost connected with a head kick, but it's not like you're telegraphing anything. You're not rushing. You just whip it out there. Do you feel like you may be being too calculated?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I feel I was way too hesitant. I would see strikes coming, and I would throw them, but I wouldn't put anything behind them. I would just, like, 3 or 4 times in the fight that I saw his eyes were gone, and I should have went in. But I think in the back of my head, I was like, oh, just wait, you'll catch him with one another. You'll catch him with something else. And I just need to get it in my head that if I had him hurt, be calculated, but up that volume, like put something in front of his face and then come at him. So these are things you learn, obviously. And I believe come January 28th, you're going to see an animal with killer instincts in there.
Well, let's talk about the fight. You're taking on Jacob Charles. Now, this is his pro debut. You made that debut in 2019. Now, it's hard to always say what's going on another person's mind, but what do you think he might be going through, just feeling right now, making his pro debut? And what is your mindset now going into your third professional fight?
Oh, yeah. I really don't know what could be going through his mind. I think he just looks at me as a kid who's gaining some hype in, I guess, Texas and that organization, XKO. and he's probably thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go take this hype away from him." Um, and in regards to me, I try and I don't need. He's not even a thought in my head right now. The only thing I'm thinking of is going and doing exactly what I know how to do, and that's win fights. Like 2-0 right now. I can third professional fight. Go get 3-0. You know, I've had a year under my belt of just training, and to get out there and do what I love and be under the lights, man, I'm looking forward to it. That's all I can think about is going and putting on a show. You know, getting another finish, hearing the crowd reaction. I'm so glad we're able to have fans. I was scheduled to fight in September, but I ended up getting hurt, and it was going to be. I can't remember if there's going to be fans or not, but I was like, I wonder how it react without fans. But you know, having that having that environment of fans, you know, people going crazy, people cheering is you get energy from it. So I'm excited for that.
Well, and you have a big fan following. I've had the privilege of getting to see a couple of your fights in person and just the crowd, the Lone Star Kid fan base. So just talk about that energy. And this is, you know, in a way we just saw with the UFC, they finally brought back some fans. We're going to see 2,000 this coming weekend with UFC 257. And now XKO is going to have attendance. So just getting to be a part of a card returning during these times, but having that, that fan support.
Yeah, returning during these times is it's crazy. Like you never know what to expect. I just got off the phone with Thomas Boosie, one of the XKO promoters, the other day. He's like, man, there's a turn. At every turn, you run into an obstacle during these things. So they got a lot to go through. You know, we're gonna have to quarantine for a day or two after before the weigh-ins and up until the fight. So that's a new deal you gotta prepare for. But you know, these are all outside factors, and the fans, as much as I love them, and like you brought up my fans, the Lone Star fan base. I I can't even describe how good it feels that I have the support of all those people, and they're willing to pay money, support my brand, come cheer me on, and go crazy for me at these fights. I couldn't be more thankful. But all these things are outside factors, and I just got to focus on going in and doing my job. And as excited as I am to put on a show for the fans, I'm excited to put on a show for myself and go get this win, and keep my career moving forward.
Well, how about also being excited because I know you're a Texas country fan. Your last two walkouts have been Pat Green. I like Texas, which is a staple. Very fitting for your nickname, and you get to do it at Billy Bob's. You know, I never thought that an MMA event would be at Billy Bob's, but you boot scooted out with the Brandon Bennett fight. So, how excited you are to get to kind of do that at a place no better than Billy Bob's?
What better branding can we ask for than the Lone Star Kid coming to the world's largest honky tonk? I wish I could get Pat Green to come play I Like Texas live as I'm walking out. But, you know, I Like Texas is going to be playing when I walk out. You can expect some two-stepping before and after I get this win. And, you know, that's just, yeah, when I read XKO was coming back to Billy Bob's. At first, I was confused. I was like, Billy Bob's. I've been to countless concerts here. This is going to be a fun one to finally be the one putting on a show and performing at the venue. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, my last concert I got to go to before everything shut down was Willie Nelson at Billy Bob's, and man, was that an experience. So that's got to be really cool getting to, you know, you may not be a musician, but get to make that walk in a building that's hosted a lot of legends. Are you going to wear a cowboy hat? Are you going to go a little bit more extra Texas style? I mean, it is Billy Bob's.
You can expect a cowboy hat. I will be walking out with one.
Any cowboy boots?
It's gonna be weird. I probably won't be wearing the boots. I wear the boots to the venue.
That may be a little more pro wrestling. That's kind of
that's a little pro wrestling wearing the boots out. I'm gonna wear the boots in a nice outfit to the venue. I'll wear the cowboy hat walking out.
Well, maybe you need to tag Pat Green to say, "Hey, come this one time. This is your home. This is your home. Come see some fighting."
Hey, when I'm main eventing a card in AT&T Stadium for the UFC, I'm gonna have Pat Green there playing I Like Texas as I walk out.
You know, it's interesting, you see it in boxing where you'll see musicians be there live. And we saw it with UFC with McGregor, Chad Mendez, where we got to see Aaron Lewis and Sinead O'Connor. It would be cool to see, even on the region scene, if there's anybody willing to do that. Because I just think, hey, you get a fight and a concert. Two things that we've been missing most of 2020.
Yeah, true that. That would be. I probably should have reached out sooner, but I might shoot my shot.
You never know.
Just message Pat Green and be like, hey, you doing anything January 28th? Want to
Thursday
come
night?
play Billy Bob's?
How often, I know you're a Fort Worth guy, how many nights have you spent there, doing line dance and hanging out at Billy Bob's?
Probably since high school, probably too many to count, but yeah, I've been there quite a few times. There, and I'm hoping Neon Moon is open after.
Oh, yeah.
After I fight, so we can go over there and get some two-stepping going on.
I lived in Arlington for 4 years and went to UT Arlington, so we would go sometimes out to Billy Bob's. And I never got a chance, though, I sad to say, to catch Neon Moon, but stockyards were definitely a staple of my adventure time for fun.
Yeah, Casey Donahue has a song, Stockyards, That's My Backyard, so I'm excited to go put on a show in my backyard and then go celebrate there afterwards.
Well, before your two pro debuts, your last two amateur or your two pro fights, your last two amateur fights, you walked out to Bulls on Parade. So when did you decide, okay, I got to drop Rage Against the Machine and give a little Pat Green love?
I guess, man, I don't know
you can't go wrong with either one, though.
Yeah, I don't know the exact thought that went through my head, but I think I was in between. I wanted something Texas, and I think I was in between 100% Texan by Kevin Fowler and I Like Texas, and I don't know, a little bit of the branding, gotta as fight minded as I am, got to be business minded too. So.
Oh, it's perfect. I mean, look at Donald Cerrone and Cowboy, Kid Rock. So it's very fitting. Whenever I think, though, about Rage Against the Machine, I think of Carlos Condit. For years, he made the walkout to Killing in the Name of, or a Rage Against the Machine song. But it is cool that you're supporting a Texas artist. Now, going back to your fight with Jacob Charles, we haven't seen too much on him. What have you seen? What is something you're intrigued to solve in him and his style? And do you like to make predictions, or do you have a prediction?
Between his style, I think his last two fights, he just kind of got out wrestled in his fights. My coach sent me the fights. I watched a little bit of it, and I was just like, you finish watching these and tell me what we need to work on. So we've been working pretty much not even the game plan, just fighting my fight. And yes, I will get it. Everything is great right now, and I'm excited to get out there and do my job and get back to what I usually do, and that's finish fights.
Well, now this will be your last four fights have been with the XKO. This is number 5. Just talk about being a part of this XKO family, and with the win over Jacob Charles, would you like to possibly see yourself in an XKO title fight? Would you like to move on? Maybe when we've seen a lot of XKO fighters go on to LFA, and we know what LFA, the lead way that it brings into the bigger promotions like UFC and Bellator.
Yeah, being a part of XKO has been awesome. Thomas and Chris Bootsy have been real cool working with me. They've been growing XKO, and as I've grown with it, they're helping promote me as well. I mean, eventually XKO title maybe. LFA, I definitely see LFA in the future possibly too. Either one, if LFA comes or the XKO title comes, I don't know. So doesn't matter to me. It's all part of the journey, and my goal is getting the UFC title. So I'm just working towards getting that call to the UFC, and whatever happens along the way, it happens.
Now, with your time in Miami, do you get a lot of time to explore? Is it all just training? And if you do get time to explore, what are some spots now that are becoming your favorite there?
Yeah, not a lot of traveling, or not a lot of sightseeing going out while I'm here. So I've been here for a year, and I think I was scheduled to fight 3 times that fell through. So, whenever you're scheduled to fight, not focused on anything else. I just want to be in the gym. I might go out fishing with Mark after I hit him up, but mainly that's probably the only thing that is crazy. I'll go golf and stuff too, but no golfing and fishing. Those are probably the
What's your handicap in golf?
I haven't done a handicap score yet, but I shoot around a 90 to 100
All right.
average. So I haven't handicapped a card yet or gotten a handicap score yet.
Well, golfing and fishing, those are
I'm
two
average.
average. Well, golfing and fishing are two perfect, Florida things to do. Have you shared any of your Texas country love with the people there in Miami or any of your gym mates right now?
That's funny. I think it was like my second or third week at Sanford. They're always playing. They're always, it's always rap or we have a couple Jamaican guys there. They'll play like Jamaican music and stuff too. I took over the aux one morning and started playing some Texas country, and everyone except for like 3 or 4 people were like just looking around like who's playing music. I think the funniest thing was one morning I played the Texas country music, and Anthony Johnson, Rumble, walked in, and I just saw a look on his face like, what the fuck is this? And I went over to my phone. I was like, disconnect. I'll let him take over now.
You know what's funny about Texas country? You'll find some people who are on the fence about just country and generally even living here in Texas, but you put in some Texas country, like, all right, I can accept this, like, Pat Green or, even Parker McCollum and I mean, Whiskey Myers. So it's one that I feel that can win over some people, but really, if you're not from Texas, I think it's a long shot, long shot.
Yeah. If you're not from Texas or I'd say even like
Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma, like more southeastern places, not as far southeastern as Florida, but yeah, they might accept it a little bit. But you get some picking going on in a guitar, you'll have some people walking in like, what is going on? The Texas country, and a little bit of mix of the rock and roll will kind of get people in.
What's your current playlist? What do you like to work out to, and what is just like when it's just your time to relax and just kind of escape?
Yeah, I play Texas country all the time.
All the time.
If I'm working out and there's other people around, I'll throw on like a workout mix that'll have rap. It'll have rap on it and a little bit of rock and roll, maybe some AC/DC or something like that. But yeah, I like to listen to a lot of Texas country, so that's my favorite type of music.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I need to. Have you listened to the new Co Wetzel album?
I didn't like specifically go look at the new Coetzel, but it might have came up on like a Spotify playlist that was playing. Maybe if you said a song, I'd know it, but I'm trying to think of the new album. Yeah, I
It's
haven't
been a
gone out
busy year
look.
for Texas country. I mean, like I mentioned, Parker McCollum, he just released a new album as well. A lot of the Texas artists have been really busy, which is good to see, especially right now.
Yeah, you gotta stay busy. They're trying to make their money and perform wherever they can too. Bunch of crazy times nowadays.
Well, hopefully you can win over a few people there with some Texas country.
Yeah, but hey, some people like you said, you either like it or you don't. So
Yeah.
some people do. Some people do, but I love it, so I'll play it myself if I have to.
Well, finally, with the win, how would you like to kind of celebrate afterwards? Are you going to have a lot of time to kind of get to spend with family here in Texas, or do you have to immediately head out?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back home and spend some time with my family for a little bit. So I'm a mama's boy. My mom misses me, so I know she.
You got to make time for mom.
She wants to see me. Got to make time for mom. She's my biggest fan. She supports me a lot, and I know she's not liking me being a 24-hour drive and 4-hour flight away. So I'm gonna stay back there probably for a week or two, be with them, and then come back and get back to work.
Well, all right, Landry, I want to thank you again for taking your time. Before I let you go, anything you want to say to your fans, family, and where can people follow you?
To all my friends and family, thank y'all so much for all the support and backing me. I can't thank y'all enough. It means the world to me. You can follow me on Instagram at Lone Star Kid MMA. That's where I post most of my stuff. You can follow my career. Quick shout out to a couple of my sponsors: North Texas Boat Clean, Upright Roofing, Mark the Shark, and Cowboy Joe's Discount City. Y'all go check them out. They'll be on Instagram. I'll be promoting them as well. And also check out LoneStarKidMMA.com and pick up some gear and support the kid. I got shirts and hats and stuff on there. So I'll check it out. January 28th. Y'all make sure to tune in.
Well, thank you again, and best of luck January 28th, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me.
Definitely. Have a good one, man.
Okay.